this is Annie from Stamp Anniething, and today we're going to be putting together our mini tag album. So what I've done is I've already gone out and I've cut 5 of the base tags, 1 and 2 front and cover, and then you're going to have your 3 inner pages. This is the piece that has the score line on the one side. Then what I also did for my spine, I cut a piece that is 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. The 4 1/4 size lines up perfectly with your score line, so that is what's going to make the side of your book. The thing is, these are a 1/2 inch score lines, so you can make your book bigger or smaller depending on how many pages you want. Just make sure that you increase it by a 1/2 inch, because basically all we're going to do is when we take the score line and glue it to here, you just butt one up against the other. So the bigger the book you want, the longer you have to just increase it. Ultimately, if you don't overstuff your books, you can also cut extras and then cut this piece in half, your score line, to make it a 1/4 inch, and then you can make more pages in there so your book isn't as wide. Just you're not going to be able to stuff it as much as necessarily others. So I have, again, 5 of these, a 4 1/4 by 2 1/2 inch spine. This is the stuff you want to make out of a thicker cardstock. And then I just cut my random pages using the tag mat to decorate the inside pages and my cover. And then also the die comes with a short pocket and a large pocket. So I cut a few of those as well. So the first thing we're going to do is start the construction, at least, of our book. Oops. So you're going to have one that is going to be your cover page. So this one will get flipped over, and then you're just going to start scoring and put in your front and the back. But what I like to do before I start doing that is actually decorate my pages, because once they're in the book, they can be a little bit, not in the book, once they're on the spine, you can still do it. It's easy enough, but I just like to do my pages prior. So all I'm going to do is just grab my bases, and then I'm going to grab my papers and kind of plan out how I want my pages to be, so I know that I'm coordinating my paper. So if this page, well, let's see, it would be, if this was the inside cover and the first page, and I just kind of, try to look to see which papers I want to go together. And then if this one was flipped here, then this one goes there, and I like these two together, like so. So I just kind of pre-plan, so I know which pages have to go on the front and which pages are going to be going on the back of. It's not necessarily the order of how I'm going to be putting my book just yet, but it's more of the pages of how I want them to go. And then you have just your back cover and your front cover as well. And I'm going to do this as my back cover paper, and then this will be my front cut paper. So now that I have that planned out, I can go ahead and start gluing them down. And you just have to line the circle, and then you'll get the nice border around your page. The die also comes with a heart whole circle reinforcer, so you can add those on as well. But this is a really simple and easy to put together tag mini album. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue and center my paper. So that is going to be my cover. Flip it over and then grab my inside cover page. And I'm just going to repeat this for all of the pages. And you could put your pockets on it this time too, but it's easy enough to put your pockets once they're inside as well. But if you like to add ribbon to your pages and you like them to stick out the side of your book instead of just on the tags, you can glue that underneath your paper when you're assembling them as well. So we're just going to continue this process again, super fast and easy. Everything, you don't have to measure anything except for that spine. And again, that's just going to be depending on how many pages you want in your book. And we're just continuing to build these pages. You can make these for any occasion with any themed paper you have, birthdays, holidays, just because, vacation photos. So you can literally do these books quick and easy. This is just leftover paper I had from a class we taught at an expo in 2024. So I just figured I would use this really quick because I know a few people had asked how to make the assembly of the tag album. And so we're just doing quick Disney, Mickey inspired. Oops, this one's off center a little bit, but that's okay. Great, and then we've got our fun polka dots. Again, so you'll have 5 bases and then 10 tag mats to go on them. We are on, I think, our 3rd one now, or our 4th one perhaps. Just repeating the process by gluing them all down. And the embellishment part, really, you can do however you want. You can put little photo corners in there. You can just glue your memorabilia or your photos. And then, like I said, a couple of them we're going to put some pockets on a few of ours just to show you how you can also add that, since it does come as part of the die. Okay, we're on our last one now. Running out of glue in my tubes. Okay. And then the final back side, which is going to be my back cover of my album. All right, so now I have all of my pages ready to go. And I just cut 2 of the large pockets and 2 of the smaller pockets. So let me just see what page. I don't. So this is the larger pocket. It's got the cornered angles. You just fold and you're going to burnish the score lines backwards, and they fit the mat of the paper. But what you can also do is, this is the tall pocket and this is the short pocket. So you can choose which sizes you want, but you can also double up your pocket if you wanted as well. So I'm just gonna score all these real quick, and then we're gonna find what pages we want to put them on in our book. This one's screaming needs a black polka dot, so I'm going to just grab my bone folder because I want these to lay nice and flat. So you just want to burnish it well, and this is kind of a thicker decorative paper, and the die cuts them so that they're not going to, your corners are not going to overlap, and they won't make a buckle in your corner. It's always important to make sure you miter corners when you're doing your pockets. And we're just going to glue this to the lower portion of that mat that we had. I'm just going to burnish it down. Make sure I got a nice strong seal there. And then I can also, because this is the corresponding page, can go ahead like that to tie it together. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a double pocket. Again, you can use your pockets singly or doubly, however you want, obviously, depending on also what it needs to hold. If it's something short, like a movie ticket, you're not going to be able to really get it out of the deep pocket. But if you have smaller items, you have that shorter pocket to work with, and bigger items for our longer one. So that's how the pockets work. So simple, easy, and you can put pockets on every page. You can decorate this however you would like. Maybe we'll do the red polka dot on the black. Let's see what other pages we have. Put it there. I'm going to put it on here, I think. Let's see. I don't want... Okay, I'm going to put this little one here. And again, you can also, I'll show you what you can do too. So you don't have to put them on the bottom if you don't want to. If you want a side pocket, you can just center it to the side here, or even on the side of your spine if you just want a side pocket. However, it's not the full length of the thing, so you'll just have to either bring it down to the bottom, or you can center it, but you're going to have that little bit showing. So again, it just depends on how you want to decorate and apply your pockets. And if you have other dies, you might even incorporate those into the project as well. So again, it's a very, very fast and easy mini tag to put together. Oh yes, and then we're going to do this one. And again, I'm just burnishing them to make sure that they're going to lie nice and flat, because you are going to be putting items inside it that's going to make it bulge out a little bit anyway. You don't want the actual scores of your pocket to be bulgy. And then we're just going to line this one up as well. And just burnishing it down. And when you're doing your scores, your score lines, you can use score tape or glue like I did. You just don't want to make an excess of glue that it's going to get pushed out on the inside of your pocket, and then your pocket actually doesn't work. So you just want to be careful with that. Okay, so now we have our pages done, and it's time to work on putting it on with our spine. So this is my cover piece. So that means I want to fold my score away from me. And I'm just going to burnish it. And I am going to glue the score line right to the edge of my piece that we cut out. And again, because we measured it at the 4¼ tall, which is how big the score line is, it is going to match and flush up with the score line just perfectly. And you want to make sure you really get a nice, see how it just fits perfectly. Okay, so that's your page 1. Then I have my page 2. And again, I'm going to just fold it away from me. Actually, let me burnish it on this side because I have those pockets there, so it's a little thicker. And what I'm going to do here is this line, it's hard to see on the black, but you have the first score line. I'm just going to butt this up right to that piece. Hope that makes sense and you can see it there. So there's my first tab, and now I'm going to glue this to butt up right next to it. And you're going to do that, keep butting them all up one against the other so you reach the end of your book. So there's that. And they will all fit in, and you want to make sure I didn't shift it, which I did. Okay. Okay. So there is that 1/2 inch score tab. Here's my next 1/2 inch score tab. Grabbing my next one, folding away from myself, burnishing this down, and now I'm going to butt, and you can feel it when you're butting it up against the last tab. And that is why I'm saying if you want, only 2 inner pages or 3 inner pages, just remember that the length of this has to be, for each page you're adding on, a 1/2 inch wider. But as you can see, there is plenty of space in here that if you did, and I'll show you because I think I cut an extra tab. Again, you just want to make sure they're butting up. But because, well, let's put the book together and then I'll show you the last thing that you can do. Next page, folding it away from myself, burnishing it, and I'm going to butt this one up next. Okay. And then here is my last page. Okay. And what you can do, actually, you know what? I think I miscounted with my calculations. I should have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one would go here, but then you're going to have that tab. So normally your last page cover, you fold fold forward on you, and it would overlap that last one. So I did do my measurements wrong. That's why I had this extra sheet. So instead of what I told you before of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, you're going to have 6 and 12, because then this one is going to fold and butt up against the edge here, and then your last one just goes on the edge. But basically what I'll do here is I will just glue mine here, and we'll just trim that extra. Let me just trim that off. But again, see, this is why math is so important. And counting, apparently I didn't count it correctly. But there we go. So this will be the last one, and then that forms the end of your book. So if you were following along with me, you could either just cut it off, or just cut out an extra base page with 2 more cover pages. But remember, on this one, you want it to fold towards you, because just like how we did the front cover, you want it to go on the edge of your spine. Okay. So these two cover each other. And that's how you end up with your boxed spine. Now, the reason why there is that 1/2 inch is because a lot of people like to stuff their mini albums, which is fine and great. Also, you can also cut a square, a rectangle piece to mat your spine in your paper as well. But let's say, for example, you did want more pages. Again, you can just keep doing that 1/2 inch, or you can see there's that gap in between each one. You can take your base page and you can cut it down in half. You just want to make sure that when you score and glue it or tape it, that you burnish it really well inside. So now you have a smaller tab that can glue halfway in between, and then you end up with an extra page in there without this big as a gap. Again, and that depends on, do you really stuff your mini albums or not so much? But I'll just show you what this looks like in case you want to do this as well. And you just kind of have to eyeball the halfway mark between the two. And then you're going to burnish. But here's the thing, because it's a smaller tab that you're using, you really want to make sure that you're gluing it down or taping it down really securely, because it's half the size of the tab. But when you close it, you can see here, I hope you can see here, now the space between these 2 pages has a smaller gap, if you can see right there. So then you would just go ahead and decorate. So I have some tags here that I can just, randomly place either on my pages or in my pockets, like that. And then I can grab ribbon, and I can put the reinforcer. That's a die that also comes with it. But you could put ribbon on the ends. You could put ribbon on your tags to stick in your book, however you want to decorate it. I'm just going to randomly glue this tag here. And you can embellish it with, rhinestones and stickers, or, well, let's just put something on here, because this is our plain one that we didn't even make the extra paper for. So you can decorate them however you want, and however many pages. That one would be really cute to put a picture on. So let's glue this one here. Little baby, like wallet size photo would fit in this little journaly tag that I have pretty perfectly. Let me just grab some ribbons that I have. So I just have some random Mickey color looking ribbon. So I can just, where's the edge here? Cut off. Actually, that wasn't long enough. Hold on. Let's just cut some ribbons. And you can, again, loop through the hole. Got one in there. Let's get the other one in here. There we go. And you can loop your tag, cut off the excess, like so. You can take something that's going in your book. Let me grab another color of ribbon. Oops. Grab. I don't have, let's see. Well, you know what? I'll just use some double-sided tape. You know what? I'll sandwich these together just so you can see how you can do your tags. So let's just put some tape here that will hold my ribbon down. So I just put a little bit of double-sided tape, and I'm just going to V my ribbon, but I want to cut the angle, so just that, stick that here, and then I can just take some glue. Of course, if you're using regular tags, they might have holes in them. I just wanted to show you what pages could look like if you had ribbon. So if this was in a pocket, you have the little ribbons sticking out like so on those. Oops, as well. So you can see you can really decorate it however you want. I love when I have ribbons coming out the sides of my books. So what I would have done as well is I would have had ribbon tucked under my mat so that it would have had, ribbon on the sides, which I mean, you can also, staple it. If you have colored staples, always look nice. Or if you have like a large sticker dot or something, I mean, in case you, already glued it down like I did. But there's, I love the look of ribbon coming out the sides of my pages as well. That's a personal choice. So again, you can go ahead and add as much or as little ribbon as you want. And doesn't all have to be, on the tag book part itself. It could be on your inner pages as well. Let's just trim that. So open those. Okay, I don't have enamel dots near me, but basically you get the idea of how you can put this album together. Decorate the cover, with word dies, or if you have whatever dies coordinated. If this was like a summer album and you have palm tree dies, that would fit. You can decorate it that way. But basically, this is how the book goes together. Super simple. It does stand up as well. So you can, spine it with, information, on the side, Disney 2025, so that they can all go on, you know, your shelf, however you want to do. But that is our mini tag mini album. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.